Good evening and welcome back to another edition of Beyond the Backstage Pass. I am your host, Vince Edwards. You may know me from Sound Image Productions. We also have a couple closed roadie groups on Facebook, one called the Backstage Pass and another one called Death by Loadout. Come and check us out. This evening we have a very unique and special show. I'd like to give a shout out to the good lads over at IATSE Local 16, right here in the Bay Area, one of the best locals in the country. We were going to have one of your true brothers, a dear brother to us, a family member, the one and only William Snoopy Fuquay. But he is not feeling well this evening, so we're going to soldier on without him and wish him our best, knowing that we love him very much and that we will reschedule him to be back here. Sorry for the bait and switch. That goes out to you, Pat O'Doul. This kind of happened late in the day, and when our guy isn't feeling well, first of all, we kick him around and, do our best to squeeze him out and make him come, but we couldn't make it happen, so we're gonna throw a little bit of a curveball at you tonight. We have a very special return of a dear good friend of mine who's been out on the John Legend tour. He is our technically all the time co-host, and he is here with us. It is the one and only Kyle Thomas. How are you, my dear friend?
Vincent.
Hey, buddy.
Vincent.
So, back in the house. We missed you for, God, it's been a month and a half, something like that.
Seriously, it's been nice being out on the road. It's great to be back and to see you all.
I know she got a little shaggier.
Yeah, growing the beard out, see how long it lasts.
I was wondering if you could make these two sides meet. You're looking good, you sexy devil.
Let me tell you, I started out with the mustache. Now it's just the full thing, dude. I got a little
full Grizzly Adams right now, and I'm liking it.
I got a couple extra gray hairs, so,
that happened.
Coming back.
Is it the slave ship 12 on a bus thing that's kicking your ass?
No, not at all.
Jump in, the water's fine, dude.
You're amongst the, the gray squad, so we're not going to feel a lot of empathy for you, babe.
Seriously, well, speaking of gray squad,
it's
just wanted to give some love out to Snoopy real quick.
Give him your love. Tell the old man that you miss him and you wish he was here.
Dude, wish you were here. One of your great friends in Santa Barbara got me really good. I had to say a quick story about this because it cracked me up.
I thought that was pretty good.
So I'm in the middle of a load-in, and this random dude walks up to me. He goes, "Hey, you're Kyle, right?" He goes, "Who's watching your dogs? Is Susie watching your two dogs?" "Who the fuck are you?" Dude starts laughing. He goes, Snoopy told me to give you a joke. So that was his form of a joke, which was pretty funny.
When you told me that, I said, "Did you punch him in the throat?" No. I had this exact same reaction you have. Did you just re-enter my dogs and my Betty? You're going down, fucker.
Oh, it was funny.
It was like, that was
no introduction, no name first. He just went full in.
Snoopy was in your head on that one. You got to give it to William. He knew exactly how that would catch you. And he was right.
I wanted to give a quick shout out to Chris Cooper for coming in last week.
He came in and he shared so much knowledge with us. The guy is an encyclopedia of audio and sound technology and the stuff that it takes to have a good studio and design and approach.
Mm-hmm.
It was a really insightful, lovely interview, and I enjoyed it a great deal. I think Winston had a good time with it too.
Yeah, I absolutely. Yeah.
A lot of people liked him and expressed kind of admiration in his overall knowledge. You guys are a smart guy. It was nice having him.
Absolutely, yeah. He's been in the game for a long time, actually.
Yeah, it was a true pleasure having him in the house.
Cool. And I see Charlie Zerke chiming up. We expect to get a gift from us heading out to you pretty soon here.
Yeah, it actually shipped, and it's he's gonna hate it because he doesn't like me sending food to his house. I'm not gonna say why, but we've talked about it. You know why? Wants to keep that close. He doesn't want everybody having junk food and crackers and candies and cookies and salamis and stuff. But we love the guy. He sent us a box of jerkies and some old wiring that he had, some old cabling and.
Jerkies and cabling, my favorite.
Yeah, it was
so fucking tasty.
It was
It's so tasty.
Me and my brother were stroking the cable earlier.
12 gauge?
He was like, "What's this?" And I'm like, "It's sexy, right?" And he was like playing with the ends and stuff. Thank you, Charlie.
WG, man.
Gave my brother a big thrill, and we'd like to see him happy.
Same with Jimmy Toth. He's getting a package pretty soon.
Jimmy Toth is getting something special. We're not going to talk about it, but I had to hold it back because I was called by the person who issued the thing. I was asked to do a favor from one of our mutual friends for an autistic friend of his, a person that he shares company with that's on the autistic spectrum. And so we got him this special thing, and that person, and Jimmy asked me to get it all specialized, but the person was only willing to put a signature on there and a little happy thing, right? And so then we got the call back saying, hang on a second, I'm going to send another signature of mine, little wristband that he wears when he plays. And so we pulled that in, put it in the package, and sent it off to him. So we're happy to do little things that can make other people happy, and right on. Hope he digs it.
Oh, it's great. I'm sure he'll super enjoy it. We got one of our techs, Brian Adorama, off the road from Michael Franny.
Yeah, he was in
Saw a bunch of his stuff out on the dock earlier. How long are they back for?
I think he's actually off of, I think, the tour that Fronte and Spearhead were on with Brian Adorama, their stage manager and monitor guy, is completed. At the same time, Michael Franti doesn't really stop. That's not what he does. And so since they've come off of the road and we've got all of their gear here, which we picked up on Saturday or Sunday and moved off to their studio. He's since picked up 2 shows.
Oh, nice.
Because that's Michael Franti.
Staying busy.
So we sent Brian out to do one of those shows. Right this minute is happening as we speak. Kind of a special one-off thing that we can't disclose too many details about. And then over the weekend, I believe in the beginning of the week, is that right, Sue? Monday or something, the 3rd? Something like that Sunday, he's going to go be Michael Franti and keep trudging forward because that's what he does.
Nice. You guys got all the cool gigs coming up. You got Van Morrison
we just did.
week
We
or
just
something?
did, yeah. We did it Tuesday.
This young man was on that one, and I guess Van brought it.
How did that one go?
He did.
Yeah,
Totally.
Yeah, to his credit, this is a
he did a
75-year-old
great
man
job.
out there, 50 years in the game, out there kicking ass. That's pretty fucking impressive.
Well, it's actually longer. Think about back before he was solo. He was part of them doing Gloria.
Yeah, that's right.
Great.
Song? That's a great song. That's a great song. Do me a favor, reach across and smack him and tell him do not. No. You smack him and tell him do not correct the host. 50 years. This fucking guy. I love. No. Listen, we forgot to mention that, and we didn't forget because I was going to trail over to it, but I can't hide him right now because of the way the floor ran. I've got all the co-hosts here right now. Anybody who's ever co-hosted.
Co-host Inception.
Is the co-host, the winner's circle.
We're all going to fight at the end of it. It's going to be great.
The boxes.
The one time
I'm willing to throw down.
He's been trying to turn this into a scrap since he got here. That's that Canadian love. I love when you do that. Or is it the spice?
You know I'm faking.
Yeah.
Canadians are faking if they're throwing their fists up.
It's the faking and the bacon. You go. What do you got?
Shit.
He's
So
finishing up
you
his-
mentioned IATSE Local 16. I was
Yes.
just working with a couple of their guys out at the Greek Theater in Berkeley. Some of them transferred over just for whatever reason they were helping in there. Super good job. Happy to work with them. Always
Good
a
guys.
pleasure. Just a reminder that you can view all of our old shows. They're still up on YouTube. We're going to do our best to get a lot of them posted up on Spotify and finish up our kind of catalog for all the podcasts as well. So keep a heads out for that.
I would love if we could get on top of the Spotify thing. But, Pat O'Doul, to his credit, was very sweet of him. He reached out yesterday and said, hey, you should remind folks that, a lot of our traffic, we air on Twitch, Facebook Live, and YouTube. Historically, when me and Bern started this, and even in the early days of Kyle and I picking it up from Bern running off because, he just got too big for him he
Too
couldn't
much
take
of a
it.
speaker
It was,
god.
it was just stress of being a rock star and TV star both at the same time.
I know about your stresses, but what about mine?
I mean, we know you just got lost in all the cabling out the bus. You just couldn't get out for the show.
But so the show started out on YouTube, and we used to get 500 or 600 views an episode, give or take, in the first week. And then we put them on to other, actually, because of Snoopy. Snoopy was like, I'm not going on YouTube. They want all my information. Like, dude, do you have a phone in your pocket, you dipshit? They got your information, bro, but okay. So we put it on Facebook Live for other folks that didn't want to have to sign into YouTube and so on. And when then Twitch came along, we put them on. But because we have such a large presence with Beyond the Backstage Pass and Death by Loadout, which is, I think this week over 31,000 people are members of those groups. They've slowly matriculated over to the Facebook Live feed. So I wouldn't say 70% of our viewers come through Facebook Live. So YouTube is there. Facebook Live, you can see this show, any episode of it on Facebook Live. Just go to our page, Beyond the Backstage Pass there. Of course, on YouTube, Beyond the Backstage Pass. But the majority of those numbers have come down, and it's hurt my heart a little bit, I won't lie. But at the same time as the YouTube ones have come down, the Facebook ones have went crazy. So find us wherever you want, but there's 75 at least episodes of some incredible people. Greg Price, Brad Maddox, Jim Yakubowski, Ken Van Derten, Pooch. A lot of incredible, talented people that have sat and shared time with us and their experiences and their stories. That stuff is out there to be viewed at any time. Please avail yourself if you'd like.
Got so much content over COVID, man.
We kind of,
Trickling right away.
kind of credit to you too. My chick always marvels at it. We just keep going and doing. Because our guest today didn't come in, and some part of me was like, and why don't we just put on a rerun? And I thought, all this talent, all these great people here, let's go out and do it. We'll give the people a little show. Yeah.
Something's gonna happen.
Yeah, I imagine 1 or 2 more drinks, you're going to be naked before this is all over. It could get really interesting.
knows.
Stay tuned.
He knows.
Stay tuned.
He's going to be selling speakers in his underwear.
And let's not forget, we have the bad man from Pacoima in the house right now, John Del Rio, the big badass Hulk.
Del Rio.
We got a
listen,
studio
you guys.
audience tonight. It's pretty badass.
If I could have fit him on the stage, he'd
There
be
he is.
There he is.
Come on,
There's
brother.
John Del Rio, accurate
Oh, wait,
staging.
wait,
He's
wait.
right
It's so
there.
nice
Now
to
he's
be part of
Gallagher.
the
He's the
studio
king of
audience.
There we
staging.
go. There we
That's
go.
a real
Johnny
respect
Del
for you.
Rio.
Thank you.
We love you, Johnny. Thank you for coming in this evening,
And thanks
baby.
for not giving Bernie the boot because Kyle came back into town.
That's right.
It's an inclusion show. It's not an exclusion thing. That's what we do here. We're an inclusive people.
I'm still
And
working out
he
my
threatened
acronym,
me
by the
because
way.
he's got some naked pictures, and he was like, "I'm going to put these on the internet if I don't get on the show." And so here he is. I want to survive this.
Coming back. It's like a virus. What? What?
But my favorite kind of fever. My favorite kind of fever, baby. I appreciate
It's
you
a
bringing
fever,
it.
man.
So we're
It's a
just doing a kind of a free for all. We got some incredibly talented people up here. Yeah, I'm hosting them from over here, fuckface. Okay, I got this. And I've been trying not to cuss. Don't get me started, John. I've been trying to keep it mellow. And we are lucky enough to have him from your YouTube people as Jorge Aguado. I know him as my best friend in the whole world, and my brother and longtime collaborator, George Edwards, also the general manager of Sound Image Productions. He is in the house with us tonight, and we are feeling very graced.
Georgie.
He doesn't come on in here, say hello.
Come on.
We don't usually have him here. He's a very busy man.
Bring in the love.
He's come on, bring him on stage a little bit, Bern. Come on.
I just think I fucked us all.
He brought the contraband, of course.
Have a Coke and a smile, motherfucker.
There goes the floor, man. Come on, we gotta get him over here.
So there's the old man.
Because Mike lost the pen.
Yeah, it's the who's who of done and what.
Have a
and
Coke and a smile, ladies and gentlemen.
There you go.
yes, we're obviously working on the Coke endorsement. I think he misunderstood when I said we're working on the Coke endorsement. He brought in a cola, and we'll sort that
Yeah,
out
when I asked you
later.
if you had any Coke, you said,
I sure love the smile.
Yeah, that's right.
There
You
you
told me
go.
that for years. He does hate Coke, but he enjoys the smell. You guys, I tell you what, I have seen that since the
tell
early
you
'80s,
what.
and nothing has changed.
I tell you
nothing has changed. All right, how's your card? You all done on that thing?
I'm all smoked right through it, man.
I think you should shout out some. You got anything left? Talk to me.
Man, I've been just plumbing along at this tour. Been staying busy. It's been
Yeah?
fun. Nice being out on the road, seeing all these venues.
You told me that you were enjoying the experience.
I most certainly am. I have a great camp I'm part of. So
Yeah.
They've all been really nice and really mellow. So it's been a good time.
That's really nice.
you really seem mellow, Kyle.
Do you think you do?
Super.
I think he seems
you're feeling the
mellow
mellow?
tonight. Yeah.
I think we got one last shout out because we don't carry an audience in here very often, but I wanted you to maybe handle this yourself. Well, no, you know what? I could probably do better. I'm gonna let you.
You never say that.
No, first of all, I brought the humble tonight. You know
never
that.
say that.
Everybody knows that. I brought the
never
humble.
say that. What do you
got?
I don't want to come in like that, you know.
What do you got? What do you got?
You're not wrong.
We are, last but not least, and I mean but not least, we have been graced by the wonderful presence of the one and only Susie Dukin.
yeah, baby.
Our HR person here, she keeps us all together.
Love of my life.
She makes it so
She's
we
the
get
best.
paid. She makes it so we...
Come on.
Oh, come on. Get it.
Come on.
Just give
Do your
her a
bow.
little sugar, Sue. So these are
Honey,
people that don't necessarily
putting you
feel
in
very
frame
comfortable
here.
on
That's
front
what
of
I'm
the
doing.
camera. But we've
Here
got
she
just
is.
a household
She
of
is.
wonderful people and accomplished wonderful people. Susie, in her own right, although she keeps the bits and pieces of us all together, she can mix down a show as good as anybody in the round table right
Absolutely.
now. So Very talented young lady. Thank you for all you do for us.
Thanks for
Susie.
hanging
We
with us,
really
babe.
adore you,
Oh,
dear.
yeah, thank
It's
you.
lovely to have you. And that is
Love you,
also
Steve.
Kyle's better half right there.
Definitely
See
my,
how I could do that better?
Definitely my better half.
All right.
He just married that girl.
Put a ring on it. All right, let's not talk like that. Big D, Bernie Broderick is in the house tonight, people. We are being graced. He went off and did some shit. I don't even know. I don't ask him. He's a grown-ass man. I don't pry, but
Yes, you do.
he went, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you get to say
On
you
a
don't
good-
say. I'm not here. I'm not your friggin' troubadour.
On a good day, you pry.
Yeah, well, that's true.
Yeah.
But, you know, I still keep it close because of the love and the respect. But we got Bernie Broderick, the one and only loudspeaker design legend in the house, the leader and founder of Truth in Audio, Bernie B.
Can I have my close-up now, Mike?
Mike, can you hit him with
can I-
number
can I have
one?
my
Can you
close-up?
just give him anything, Mike? Just give
You don't get a
how it
close-up
is.
cam
You
today.
used to get-
Hi, I'm Troy McClure. You may
Simpsons.
know me from such soap
Simpsons
operas
reference.
as This Is What.
Beyond the pale and
Right?
at the edge of grace. Yes, you were really amazing in those things.
So anyway, how
Yeah.
you doing, brother?
I'm good, baby. How was your time away?
It was good.
Yeah?
Yeah, it was good. Had a great week of defrag.
Was that what you did?
That's what it's called. It's called defragging.
You look like you got color in you, baby. What's going on?
Oh, I love the color.
Deep South, is that where you went?
Deep South,
We were out
yeah.
there in
Alabama,
the desert, maybe
baby.
little Alabama. Right on.
Alabama.
Yeah, the good cornbread.
No, I mean it was a heavy week. Obviously, getting this little fucker of a company up and running is a 24/7 gig. Highly not
testify.
recommended for people who, starting a company is a lot of work. And I'm a one-man army on this for the most part. My sister helps out quite a bit, and I have some dear people close to me that contribute as they can. But at the end of the day, the buck stops here. And so, yeah, I mean, I spent the last week, I was waiting for some parts to come in. We've got another 12 Kiri going out tomorrow.
Damn,
Yeah.
good for you.
So we were waiting for one final part to show up, and it did. Thanks, pandemic, for keeping us on our toes.
What about the guy who receives all this shit? I need some love.
Oh yeah. There's a reception. Yeah.
I don't think I'm going to do that anymore. Just say he's not here.
Do we have a moment of silence for that guy?
Yeah. Okay. I need to feel the love burn.
Vince receives all the packages first. He touches every
He
last
received
one.
what did you want?
He got
12?
9. I gave him 7. That's a good
7?
number.
Yeah,
I feel like
that's a
there
pretty
was 2
good
that
trade-off.
made sounds I liked, and I put those in my office, and then I gave him what was left over. And
Yeah, there was like seven
Yeah.
packages. When
that
I
was
showed
very
up.
sweet. You
There
guys,
was a lot of stuff going
A lot
on.
of love happening there in that moment. I did notice your lovely sister Bernadette Broderick checked in with us this evening.
Oh, good.
She was lovely enough to watch us, even though you weren't in the last couple of weeks when you were available.
She didn't even know I was
and,
on.
And I think that's very lovely and very sweet of her.
She's
and
amazing.
I miss her because she has been here in this building and stayed with us on the property, and
Yeah.
just an adorable, sweet, lovely woman. And I was just wondering, are you sure you're not adopted? Because I'm not getting the connection there.
Yeah, no, I totally get that. I have no answer. I really don't have an answer for that. I mean, it's possible.
That's Bernie Broderick.
It's possible.
Vince 1, Bernie 0.
You're keeping score today, boy. That's not
take
the
it.
first time you did that.
I got to take it on the chin, because he may be right. She may be the friendliest person on the planet.
She rules. She's
Yeah,
an
yeah.
exceptional human being.
She told me a great story today that she's got this new gig that just happened to her. I mean, I know the details. I could take an hour to explain, but
Don't do that, Ron.
she's in an exceptionally good mood today. Is she out there?
No. Something else happened.
Oh, okay.
You got to keep up.
She's really on. She's really on cloud 9, kind of like you guys are. And why don't you just pull your fucking chair in here, dude? Seriously.
You knew
why
it
are
was
we
going to be
doing
like
this?
this, Vern.
Why are we doing
Vern,
this?
you knew it was going to be like this. You knew that the Punchy Duty show was going to roll like this, Daddy. Don't be so
like 3 degrees
precious.
removed.
What the hell?
It's like, come on, man. Come on, man.
We're gonna go here.
I told you he wouldn't need a mic.
He's working a show here.
Carries through, baby.
No, but anyway, before we go right off the fucking deep end, which we're prone to do here very, very soon.
Yeah.
She's awesome.
Wonderful girl.
Yeah, I love her, and so happy if she's here. I'm happy she's here. I'm happy she's watching.
Yeah, lovely. She did check in earlier. Absolutely.
good,
Look
good,
what
good.
Pat O'Dooley had a suggestion. He said he think we should rename the show Beyond the Backstage Roast. That's pretty
There
sweet.
she is. Look.
I'm here, you guys. Always so sweet. That is wonderful. See, what a great sister. She's lovely.
She's amazing.
An amazing. I can't say this enough, people. You really got to trust us on this. It's an incredible woman.
You wouldn't believe how hard she works for me in the background, man.
I actually have some idea of that. Not, of course, entirely, but yes, I'm aware of that. And the two of you make a hell of a team. And, you know, between the, unstoppable and very cool. Very, very cool.
Yeah.
Let me
If you're looking for nice people.
Well, not often.
If you're looking for
but,
successful people, you might want to look somewhere else. But if you're looking for super nice people who stick to their plan and stick
It
to
just
their...
turned into fucking Beyond the Backstage fucking confession.
Right.
Yeah. let's not forget some of you who helped us out quite a bit, as many of you know that watch the show with some regularity. The one and only, really a legend in the game, a master electrician, incredible ear, incredible mix engineer, and a wonderful employee here at Sound Image, and co-host for at least one of our shows recently was the wonderful Winston Dama. How are you, sir?
Doing good.
It's such a pleasure.
No, you're doing
to
fucking
hear.
awesome.
You look great.
You have a rum and Coke over there. You're doing
I do.
awesome.
Yeah.
As a matter of
yeah,
fact,
yeah.
it's
That's
disguised-
where the border is.
Yeah.
Rum and Coke goes, I'm doing good. I'm doing pretty fucking awesome.
it's
Yeah, it
disguised
does,
as a
it
cup
does
of
change
coffee,
shit
but
around a
yeah.
little bit, doesn't it? Doesn't it? Winston, what's new in your life this week? What have you been up to?
Well, had Van Morrison, as you mentioned,
Yeah.
Tuesday, and that was cool. In case some of you don't know, we're doing the Oxbow River Stage up in Napa, that whole concert series this season. And Van did a great job. Band was great. He was great. The crowd was probably the biggest crowd we've had so far, actually.
Okay, wonderful.
That was good. And then we had, prior to that, we had John Fogerty, and then we had, Herbie Hancock.
Oh, I bet he brought the.
See, I
good
wanted to
week.
see that
Yeah.
one. That was what I was
Yeah,
really
you know
up
Herbie
high on my
always
radar.
comes with the best
Yeah,
band in
I
the
was
business.
looking forward to that. Herbie did a great job.
Of course, he's a
Yeah.
consummate professional.
Yeah, he didn't play Watermelon Man, I heard, though.
No, he did not.
so
He did not do
kinda-
Watermelon
kinda
Man.
disappointed.
All right, don't take this into the gutter like that. What the hell? What the hell?
Are we in the gutter? Sorry, I was distracted for a minute. Is it my time to shine?
We bring the right people for the right things. You know what I mean?
exactly.
We've had you on a back. So it sounds like you had a very full. This is Friday, Saturday,
Friday-
Tuesday.
Yeah, well, Friday, Saturday, and then, of course, I had the repair thing in San Francisco on Monday.
Oh, right. I forgot about that. We sent you on an integration thing that we were dealing with, and you went and sorted some stuff out and
Yeah.
got to the bottom of a few things.
Yeah.
Nice high-end place over in the city.
Yeah, I suspect the food there is phenomenal, by the way.
Yeah?
From what I can tell. I mean, just looking at the plates going by me as I'm,
Yeah.
working on the gear.
Yeah.
Man, that
Yeah.
steak looks awesome.
Yeah, I'm up for a good steak right now myself, too.
Yeah.
I'm looking for a good place. They're few and far between to really land on a good place that does it well.
You mentioned John Fogerty. It's one of those artists that you forget how many hits he's had
Until you hear them, yeah.
until you just go to a show like
Oh,
that.
he did that. Oh, he did that.
Yeah.
Jackson Brown, same thing.
Same thing,
First
yeah.
time I heard Jackson Brown, it was that.
Yeah.
We had Jackson. Was it the week before?
Yeah, we had
Yeah.
Jackson a week or two ago, I believe, something
yeah.
like that. We've been graced with some really talented, kind of iconic artists. Yeah. That stage doesn't just bring in anybody, and we've been lucky enough to be doing these shows and having some really talented people on it supporting the shows, and you're out there kind of leading the team with my big brother. You know how he's kind of oversee or kiss the ring guy, and you guys. And get the work done. So
yeah,
we really appreciate that. Super good.
Winston's my new favorite guy. I'll tell him about the text I sent him. I said, is it ironic to you that the world's most advanced PA is being handled by a guy as old as you are?
What was your answer?
Well, he's not wrong.
He's not wrong.
I mean, it's,
was
I
it
mean,
insulting
yeah,
though? Did it make it? Did
Not
it?
at all.
It's not. You're not hearing that in the wrong way, right?
of course not.
Well, he was saying you're really old, is what he was
I
saying.
know, and I'm
because
okay with
he's
that.
fucked up that way.
There's no way that should be insulting because you got to remember, you, in our eyes, as being a younger gentleman,
Right.
you have already mastered something in an analog sense and then had to recreate yourself and become successful in
so
a digital
good.
sense.
He's forgotten more about audio than most
forgotten
people
more
has ever
shows
gonna
than most
fucking learn.
youngsters.
Yeah, there you go.
Seriously.
Yeah.
No, this
That was a really great ad, dude. Good
Yeah,
for you. We
absolutely.
bust each other's balls, but we actually got him out of love for each other here, and with the other people in the
respect.
audience, and of course Mikey Brownie's back there, friggin'
No
putting
respect.
it
Slaving.
Huh?
She's the best, man.
You'd be nice. I'm gonna
Sorry,
use
was
one
I
of
still
these.
on camera?
Yeah, a little bit. I think so. But that was a very sweet ad. You're absolutely right. This the man has seen and done. He's been up really in foundational part of this whole industry, and he's still in the game. He's still incredibly effective, and that's because he constantly applying himself, reapplying himself, always in the learn, always doing. When we had the S6L classes, you were probably the most steady of that time in and time out. And people don't know this, but you live quite a distance away from here.
Yeah.
So you to come in
commitment
and
is
do an 8-hour class in here every Thursday, plus the 3.5 hours each way,
Right.
on either side of that just tells us everything we need to know.
Well, what my
you
point
know?
was is that, you think that all this new networking, adaptive, all this kind of stuff is a young man's game, right? And that's what I would think too.
Right.
But watching you over the past weeks and months of handling this rig out there has just been phenomenal to me, because it shows people that old dogs can learn new tricks.
Oh, totally.
And you can wrap your head around it. You get rid of the high level learning, and then you start to get into the minutia.
Right.
And I've watched you transition into this minutia aspect of running what is an incredibly complicated system at the end of the day.
That system, as far as I can tell, is probably the cutting edge of live sound speaker technology at this point.
I
And at
think
least,
it's
at the,
leading
at
the
least
pack.
at the people may have their preferences as to what they like in sound,
Right.
but technically and the
Capability-wise.
yeah, and the
Yeah.
need to understand what it's doing, why it's doing it, and to extract the best out of it takes a lot of concentration, takes a lot of learning, and a lot of track time
Right.
with the system. And you're obviously getting that at Oxbow,
Oh, absolutely.
and the results are clear. You know?
It's definitely working. It's been a huge learning curve, certainly.
You feeling more comfortable as the shows
yeah.
come out?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, that's what I said, right?
Yeah.
I said in the beginning it's overwhelming. 'Cause
Yeah.
there's so much stuff going on.
It's actually a little intimidating at first.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, especially like you said, coming out of, an analog background. I
Right.
mean,
Signal
back when I was actually studying electronics, they were teaching us tube circuitry
Yeah.
in school.
Yeah.
Okay? I mean, that's how far back I go.
And very few of the youngsters nowadays have even a clue what that is, let alone have
Yeah.
any
Oh, yeah.
any intention of following that path or
Yeah.
learning that
I think it
information.
really messes with your concept of signal flow is the biggest thing,
Mm-hmm.
because you're basically shooting sound out into zeros and ones.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's anybody's guess what's going on inside that machine. There's no
Right.
point to point to point to point kind of topology that you can follow. So kind of release that. You
Yeah.
got to release that kind of thing and say, okay, at the end of the day, I've been working with this system since 2013.
Right.
And I think I've said this to you. At the end of the day, no matter what hurdles, what bugs, what gremlins, the PA always works at the end of the day.
Yeah.
It always works. It'll always get there. It's you that needs to understand what it's doing.
That's the big challenge, I think, well, at least for me anyway, was getting to the point where I kind of trusted it to do that. you know?
Exactly.
I had a lot of apprehensions about that, and obviously, yes, a lot of analog, but being around the digital world too for the last whatever amount of years and stuff, like when you go to a corporate environment or an office or whatever, and where there's, computers and things all over the place, and you see stuff failing periodically, and, all these places that have these big IT departments, and so it's like, hey, man, this thing's not working. So an IT tech comes over, and you think, okay, cool, he's going to, get in there and do all this fancy stuff. And it's like, well, I guess we'll just reboot it.
Yeah.
It's like, I could have done
Control
that.
Z.
Control Alt Delete. Yeah.
But at the same time, after seeing that for so many years, it's kind of like, okay, it's one thing to have a computer go down in an office environment,
Right.
and then okay, well, we'll all go on pause for a little bit here, and then bring this thing back online, and then life will continue.
Right.
In a live show, you can't do that.
You can't tell like 30,000
No,
people to hang on a
you
second.
know
Is that what you're saying?
firsthand what that's like.
Yeah,
he does.
absolutely. Yeah.
He does.
I mean, going silent and in front of 35,000 people.
Yeah, that's not a good thing.
It's a wake-up call.
Yeah.
And I remember in
It's
the
pure abject terror. What are you talking about?
it's like
Wake-up call.
that's that warbling.
Life flashing before your eyes.
Yeah, that's a huge pressure.
You go through about 1,000 possible potential problems in that amount of time.
Sure.
Because you need to have a path to run down. And
Right.
you don't even know what path it is. You start doing that scared rabbit. You're
Right.
just running back and forth. You don't really know, where the issue is.
Right.
But, like working with new technology, it can be frightening. And, I've spent a number of weekends out there with you.
Right. And thank you for that, by the way.
Well, you're welcome. But I mean, my primary goal there was to give some sort of backup to your learning.
Right.
You know what I mean? To say, look, I'm going to leave you to do your thing, but if it really goes to hell in a handbasket, or if there's questions that need to be answered, sometimes I don't even know the answer to them,
Right.
then this is a great opportunity to interface with you, give you confidence that,
Right.
that at the end of the day, the PA will work and everything will function. This is a new frontier, and it seems really, really scary.
Yes, well, your experience with the system going down, a few years back.
I've had two experiences with the system going
Well, I
down.
know that, but
yeah.
I heard those stories, and those stories were in the back of my mind
Of course.
constantly while we were initially getting this whole thing up and running. And I'm, in the back of my mind, it's like, what the hell am I going to do if this thing?
What am I getting into here?
Yeah, it's like, what if it goes down like that?
Yeah.
I'm not an IT tech.
But both times that we lost audio had nothing to do with the PA. You see,
Right.
That's it. You can back it up and find the single point failure, we call it. Right.
Right.
There's always a single point failure. The adaptive stuff, all of these network systems, they work as a hive. So each one is a PA.
Right.
So you may lose a box or something, like something
gonna
like
lose
that
the whole
could happen.
column
But you're
usually,
never going to lose the whole side or the whole PA or
Yeah.
any, unless something like what happened to me on a couple of occasions
Right.
happens, which had nothing to do with the PA. But it's interesting how in the beginning, the immediate culprit was the PA. Sky's falling, right? It's the new kid on the block. It's the new thing,
Right.
digital whiz bang, whatever. It's got to be the PA. And it turns out it wasn't the PA.
Right.
So, and this is not about Anya or anything like that. This is about the new age of sound.
Right.
This is about the new things that guys of our vintage are kind of behooving to learn. You know what I mean? Is that a signal?
And I want to
think
lighten
it
you up
is,
a little
yeah.
bit.
Is that a measurement? Is that a
No,
measurement?
no,
Is
it's
that a-
nothing. I
getting
wasn't
too
saying nothing. That
incoherent
wasn't
here,
a
huh,
passive
Vince?
aggressive move at all. There was super gentle and loving.
Right.
But
I don't know.
it's kind of the new frontier that we're going to have to all get used to, like digital consoles. Same deal.
You're not wrong. And this is a challenge going through some of the older generation that is an ongoing thing to this day, and I think it will stay that way. But, the challenge, I think, in this industry is pretty common and frequent because technology doesn't stand still for anybody.
Nope.
And so we're always dealing with some updates and new ground that we've got to cover. I know this last release on the S6L was, I think it was at update 7.
7, yeah.
That son of a bitch was dense and thick, and it was like an onion that just had endless layers. You just could go through it, and anybody I've talked to about it, I know you that noticed that it was incredible, what it allows the board to do, but the time it's going to take to master it and get it all figured out and put it into some kind of application. Let me roll over here to my dear good friend Kyle Thomas, because we did miss you. We are very glad that you're back.
Thank you.
But I do recognize that we only have you for a minute. So tell us what's next for you, my brother.
I'm going to Utah next, I believe. Utah, and then Colorado and Texas, and then we start an East Coast run after that.
And this is all with John Legend.
Yeah. Still cranking
very,
along.
very cool.
We just finished up our first run with him, mostly amphitheaters, which has been great. I love doing both of the Greeks in
the
Berkeley
Hearst
and LA.
places. Sure. Good for you.
Santa Barbara Bowl was amazing. Been a lot of really nice places.
I always tripped on it. Excuse me. I always tripped on at Santa Barbara Bowl how the houses are just up off the bluff.
Right?
You're blasting right at them. I don't know how that works out. But we go into a market like Napa, and you got shit off to the side, and people are losing their minds when we pass over 100 dB. What the hell?
Well, it's interesting. That's been a lot of it is learning, not to get too technical with it, but like learning mitigation techniques. And even though you got a huge PA and it looks like it's going to kill people, it doesn't have to.
Does not have to.
So it's been good to kind of step into these older venues that have.
Well, you want to carry a big stick sometimes, but you want to talk as softly as possible when it's necessary.
Yeah.
But you want the big stick there. This is a critical point. Thing I don't think we want to show up to a gunfight with a stick, not to use too many analogies, but I'm going to keep doing this. Yeah. You got anything for me?
Yeah, Lori Quigley. When I think of big guns to a fucking knife fight, I always think Lori Quigley. That's the only man that comes to my mind. We got to get him on one of these days.
That'd be pretty great.
Yeah, he's a good he's a good dude. I worked with him Aerosmith way back, and had a lot of fun. It was like, how much PA you want, Lori? Well, what's on the truck?
What you got?
What you got?
Dump the whole thing in the front yard and we'll sort it out. Yeah, last night I had a call from I think I'm pronouncing this right. Phuket, Thailand, from Jan Landy.
Oh, yeah.
Good old Jan, you know Jan, everyone knows Jan. Yeah. And Jan reached out, lovely guy, sweetest guy.
He is,
He's soundbroker.org, I believe, or .com. He's got his own show, airs Wednesdays, 4 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. Can be found on YouTube and Twitch, and I don't think Twitch, but he's a fascinating cat. His first tour was in '77. Get this, first tour, '77. Song remains the same. Led Zeppelin.
Wow.
Think about that. Is that freaking cool or what? And so we're going to bring him on the show, but it was lovely to spend a few minutes talking with him. And, it's, to me, I'm always more fascinated with some of the older cats, but we love seeing, like you're out doing one of your first big tours. Now, am I wrong about that? You've toured around a little bit before, but.
Oh, yeah, mostly festival stuff. Like the other big ones, mostly it'd be like the High Times events and stuff.
Sure. Yeah.
Yep.
But this is kind of like an official, you're hooked up with the team, you're doing the bus thing, you're doing the 6 trucks, the 6 semis and the whole 9. Mm-hmm. Yeah, feels like a good place for you. And I think that little bit, it scratched that little nomad itch that, I know I feel like we weren't getting the full utility out of you, and that we knew that this was something that was important to you. So we were super glad to see you out there and thriving and doing well with it. It's really good.
I appreciate it, man.
Oh man, it's absolute treat. We do have some weird news. We're just going to quickly touch on it because earlier before the show started, and I had reached out to this gentleman regarding some questions me and you had about a Pro Tools rig, and left a message, and I was curious why I hadn't heard back, but apparently one of our dear friends and coworkers, Rob Mailman, is currently not feeling well and is hospitalized, and we just want to send our best out to him and his people and hope that he's doing well soon and he gets on the mend, because he's an extraordinarily intricate part of our company and the success of Sound Image, and so I just
many
want to
blessings. We want to make sure you're getting well soon.
Yeah,
and
Rob Mailman, we really hope he's getting better soon and feeling better soon, because we've just been suffering too many hits in this last year and a half, and a lot of really precious, amazing people have fallen ill, and some of it, frankly, aren't here with us anymore, and it's been a lot, and so.
Yeah, it's been the hard part about this whole thing when you hear about somebody going through issues, personal health issues, things like that. You always back it up to as if it wasn't enough.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. It feels like piling on at this point. Yeah. There's no two ways about that.
Like me with last year with the Creek Fire. So
I
was evacuated, unemployed, and locked down due to COVID, all at the same time.
Right.
It's a lot. I couldn't feel it until this was happening to you, and we were talking about it, and you were on the hill, and you could see it at the tip of the hill.
Oh, yeah,
and all of a sudden,
the flames at the top of the hill.
I'm standing with my beautiful, amazing woman, Jackie Canterbury, of Slow Fiber, and all of a sudden, we start seeing across the valley flames peeking up over the other side of the valley. We're kind of on the tippy top of this part of the valley, and all of a sudden, a mile or two off, there's the flames coming at us. And sadly, here in California, we used to have this thing called a fire season. That doesn't exist anymore. Now we just have fires.
We just have fire.
We just have fires, and they just happen.
It's a great place to live.
In many ways, it is. Now he's being sarcastic a little bit because we have landslides, earthquakes, fires, and a bunch of psychos with guns. But you know what? This is California, man.
Or lack thereof.
Really
I don't know.
lucky.
We haven't figured it out
Just
yet.
don't listen to the
Whatever is
gal.
there, man. Whatever is there.
Did you do the tea?
I did the tea.
we ran out of Coca-Cola, and so I brought him a bottle of tea. He's like, tea,
Fucking low
motherfucker.
budget goddamn
Well, apparently it's good enough. So live with that, Bert.
Right.
Enjoy the
Goddamn
tea.
cheese tray either. Gouda. It's for Gouda.
And then my brother rolled up with flatbreads and Yardbird.
Flatbread. God damn it. Where's the flatbread?
It's called the rock and roll business,
That
Bern.
tastes like shit, by the way. I'm just gonna fucking throw that out there.
Hit the bottle straight. Quit being a pussy. Jesus Christ.
As well.
I'm sorry I come
Not
up
getting
light
any
on
love
that.
here.
What kind of fucking drinker are you? Don't have your own Coke? What the hell, man?
My big drinking starts after the show.
It's like me whining to that.
It's to forget. It's to forget.
Don't deprive us of your drinking fun times. We love that about you. They were talking about when we were talking, Charlie Zericki and Pat O'Doul were talking about back in the day when Charlie's been around forever. He's one of the old pros, you know, and he was an owner of an audio company and a lot of accomplishments. And he was talking about back in the days of, you know, sorting out a room with a slide rule. You know, I mean, we've come a long way. Yeah.
No,
so,
a partner.
Shut their mic
I
off.
taught him how to use the slide rule.
Shut the mic off now.
but excuse me, we have come a long way. You know, some of the tools that we employ now, Smart, which is Sam Burkhau's invention, who's an extraordinarily talented guy. Somebody we were hoping will be
Trivia.
on the show. Yeah.
Trivia time.
Give it to me.
SIA. You know what it stands for?
Tell me.
Anyone want to guess? SIA.
SIA. I got nothing.
That's his company, SIA.
Yeah. Well, what's it fucking
Because
stand
remember,
for?
it used to be SIA Smart.
Sam.
Yeah, I know.
Sam, I am.
I actually have
Sam,
a
I
copy
am.
of
So
Smart
that's good.
back when it was SIA Soft.
Sam, I am.
Is that what it
good.
is?
Yeah, he's a playful sort like that.
I
though.
did not know that.
Yeah,
Yep.
he's a good boy.
Yep. I just maybe blew his whole groove. I'll probably get a phone call later, but
Nah, I don't know. He seems pretty
Alcohol.
forgiving. Yeah, but
Yeah, he's talking.
it was the tea struck again.
I'm just full of trivia, guys.
The
throw it
tea
at me.
strikes again.
It's the Cliff Clavin of the show, the innate facts. We love you.
Let's
for
talk
that.
about Adamson.
What do you got, baby?
Well, you know, our boy is rolling Adamson now. Is all you're wearing their badge proudly. Did somebody give you that out on the
It was a
tour?
clean shirt.
It was a
But,
clean shirt. It was a white
He's
shirt.
moved the game way up to clean shirts on the show. I like that
Brought us
very
up to
much.
clean
I've been
shirts,
wearing
yeah.
this for 4 days. And
trying to
it's about
clean
stand
myself
up
up
on
a
its
little
own in
bit.
the corner. So I, you know, it's called getting your money for, you know, the mileage.
I'll tell you, wash prices are steep right now across the U.S. So
Are they
a little bit.
really gouging you on the clean laundry?
It's like no joke. I was surprised how much it's gone up. So.
What are you talking about, like fluff and fold type services, or
Oh yeah, like
or dropping the quarters in the thing and the
they
three,
didn't give him the
$4 a
clothes
pound.
service.
Wow.
For clothes, yeah.
Wow.
It's been fun.
You got to wear lighter clothes, man.
Good times.
Yeah.
That's the problem. You're wearing this thick.
I know. I just wear these baggy clothes. Like,
Yeah,
I
you
don't
got
know.
to get some fetch a little more snuggler and
More synthetic.
yeah.
How big is he? Is he really small inside those clothes, or is he kind of? Yeah, does he kind of fit those clothes?
He's breaking the third fucking wall.
There it is.
What the hell?
Kyle,
knows all your
which guy
secrets,
are you
man.
talking about?
Fucking iced tea, it's again.
Which Kyle? Are you talking about Kyle?
Fucking Jesus Christ. So officially the wheel just came off the wagon. That happened.
a long time
And we were right into the dirt. All right, so here in the show, there's like a third wall. It doesn't really
you like to be
exist, but it's
Kyle?
supposed to be over there somewhere, and it's not being adhered to.
Adhered to?
There's a wall over there.
Yeah, you asked for this.
I know. I
Yeah.
did kind of. Yeah, I think we're gonna have to go back to the old name, buddy.
Yeah, shit show.
The shit show.
yeah.
Yeah.
Are you guys having fun
honor
out
our
there?
origin.
Let us know. Are you not
What?
you guys? I know you're having fun. I can hear
Hey,
you.
Big Daddy? All right, Big Daddy.
All right, Georgie.
So, we're going to say goodnight to the one and only. Thank you for staying as long as you did.
Hey, have to.
Hey, Aguado is going home
at the
to
back.
his little tribe of children
Don't forget
and
the
his
hedges in
loving
the back.
family. Be good, Aguado. Yeah, oh boy. The flavor is in the building tonight. All right, you
flavor's here.
Yes, absolutely. So what is your next pursuit, Bernie Broderick? See what I did there?
It's just
See
like
what I did
coming
there?
at you, right?
I
It's
did
like
a
you
little
don't
feint
know
there.
what's
Just
gonna
at the I
happen.
took it over to Broderick.
Yeah.
Come on, carry this thing, baby.
What am I? What am I?
What
up
are you
to?
doing? What are you up to?
So we're moving into this Jewel series now.
Okay.
You know, did the Bluetooth.
It's a little like a
speakers.
bedazzled type situation. You're gonna.
Yeah, well, Jewel is an interesting name because I kind of wanted it again to kind of be centered between men and women. You know, like it's not biased towards guys or girls in the names. It's meant to be centralized. So Jewel can mean the same to a guy as to a girl. You know, so whether you're doing it for technical reasons or whether you're doing it for aesthetic, cosmetic reasons, it shouldn't make any difference. It's you're still getting the same quality, you're still getting the same engineering. Sometimes it looks good, sometimes it's techy, but it's always going to live in that middle ground, you know. So we originally did the Jewel stuff. Where it came from was Rick Allen's install, which is where it all started. And so now we're getting a chance to go back and revisit it. And it's looking really, really good. I should have given Mike a picture, but I'll be posting up some images here soon. It's going to be really great. It's for the integration market primarily,
Okay.
and so to do small, medium, large type distributed sound is what its focus is. And I've been prototyping and messing with it for the last, here and there, several months. And we've got some really cool technology going into it, which for me, there's no point in building anything unless it has some unique attribute.
Sure.
I don't want to do the Me Too game. I don't want to just do the stuff that other people do. That's just really freaking boring to me. So I want to do things that are quite interesting. So with the Jewel, we came up with this kind of convertible type scenario where you could change it from a biamp speaker to a passive speaker to an active speaker. And you do it all with the same speaker. So I don't have to have 3 different speakers in the catalog. I don't have to have the biamp one, the passive one. It's all the same speaker, but then you can attach a module to the cabinet to change it to whatever it is that you want it to be. And I think that that's really exciting because for integrators, they're only dealing with one SKU for the speaker, and then they're just saying, I want it to be active, or I want it to be passive, or whatever. And so that's been the really exciting attribute of this. And when it's all put together, it's a cohesive box. So it looks like a singular unit. But in essence, it starts off with being modular to put it together. So we're really, really close. Maybe in 2 months to have at least two of the products out to market. So
Can we please call the connector pieces the burn doggle?
the burn doggle?
Burn
Yeah,
doggle.
because you guys have seen it, so I'm like pissing up a tree branch here with some of this. But
Well, so is that a green light on the burn doggle?
no, it's a total green light. You
Yeah,
can green light
see?
anything as long as I'm
job, buddy.
actually drunk.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we'll get it done,
everything's a
right?
go. Everything's a
Yeah,
go.
I appreciate that
Yeah,
very much.
the silence starts tomorrow. That's when I walk by people and I don't say anything to them and stuff. But
You made Mikey
I
laugh.
made Mikey laugh.
That is a rare
Did you hear
thing.
that?
Does not happen very
that
often.
doesn't happen very often.
Yeah.
But the key is, and the reason why I come on the show is really not to support, self-support my company and what I do. What I try to do when I come on here is support innovation and creativity. That's what I'm really, obviously, always been focused on, is be creative. I've taken my love of music, which is where I started, and all the other things I've done over my career, and I've focused that towards making products. So if I can't, that's why you hear me say sometimes, I quip off and I say, if I can't do something that's unique, I'm just not going to do it. Where a lot of our industry does that. They look at other brands and they say, how many do they sell a year?
Right.
And then they try to make the same thing, perform the same way, but they keep knocking the price down because that's the only way they can compete. If you're making the same goddamn thing, how else are you going to compete? Right? But if you make something unique, it's infinitely more difficult to introduce these things into the market. I mean, I can't even tell you how many times I've explained TCM to people. I mean, it's like literally like, I can't believe I'm still even describing what it is I've done here. This is as simple to me as
Yeah, but you're really close to it.
waking up in the morning, you know? But this is what I'm saying. When you introduce something that's different,
Right.
and nobody can draw association to anything else that's in the market like it's very difficult to understand and for me to explain.
I think maybe an approach for something like your TCM product, which is, and I bet you many of the people listening don't understand what we're talking about, is you explain the problem.
Yeah.
What you did was you came up with a solution based.
solve the problem.
Exactly. And there was a problem with networking and communicating with large systems like the Anya,
Right.
and it has many other applications.
Yeah.
But I think you've explained the problem and the solution you came up with, which was elegant, by the way. Elegant and clever.
Well, let's ask him. I mean, he's been out there using it for week after
You're
week
using
after
the
week.
TCM. Is it made? Well, see, I don't think the problem with that is he hasn't used the system
Well,
without
he
it.
hasn't, but that's why I would be fine asking him right now, because he's using it without knowing any other approach or style or
Well,
whatever.
I mean, I'm aware of the former approach.
Yeah.
I mean, just because that's what we did here when we were training initially.
True.
And, you know, and it's not like I haven't hung a few PAs in the day, you
Yeah.
know, so with a lot of cabling.
Yeah.
So, yeah, as a current user of the TCM modules, I can say that it definitely addresses what would be a big cabling, you know,
Headache.
issue that we would
Issue,
have
sure,
otherwise,
sure.
because it's just basically, in a nutshell, it's like you would normally have like all these cables coming up from the ground going up
Big hod.
to big cables, a lot of heavy stuff. And while you're trying to deploy a rig, you're kind of waiting in all this stuff as well. And these modules that Bernie's come up with eliminate a big chunk of that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So instead
It
of, you know,
dresses it out, first of all. It creates efficiencies.
yeah.
It's a much prettier hang. And the part that's interesting to a person from where I sit is the efficiencies
Well, the
and
efficiency.
the
other-
end aesthetic.
Yeah, and the thing is too, the modules themselves actually have components that, from what I can tell, actually perform better than some of the components
Probably,
that were in the original racks that were on the ground. So, you know, so we have, you know, say boot up times that are like, God, what do we?
It was
we timed it like 15 seconds.
2 minute 15 seconds to
Yeah.
12 seconds.
Exactly, 12 seconds for his TCM modules, and 2 minutes 15 seconds for the, you know, the
Old
stuff.
stuff.
Yeah, the old stuff, which, you know, if you've got a lot of time is not a problem, but, you know, in a critical situation like what you experienced when the system went down.
On
you
your
know.
boots up in 8 seconds.
Yeah, exactly. You know, it's like when those seconds count.
Oh, man.
You know,
Those are
it's like-
eternity.
Yeah, when the system's
Eternity.
down, and, you know, of course, you know firsthand, I've had experienced that before too. You end up with some very powerful people breathing down your neck pretty hard,
Yeah.
pretty quick.
Yeah.
You know,
Uncomfortable
and,
moments.
yeah, and so when you're talking about, like, you know, a couple minutes of just sitting there watching this gear try to boot up, you know.
Well, it's like I said, you got $1 million PA waiting for a $450 switch.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
You've got.
And it's more than $1 million, and you're not wrong.
Yeah.
And listen,
Well, the other part of that equation too is, I mean, you think about it just in terms of, talk about efficiency
yeah.
and cost. You know, if you can eliminate all those huge bundles of wire, you know, you can eliminate a bunch of weight and space on the truck.
Well, plus, and there's
initially,
certain
too.
liabilities that go with that too.
Yeah, absolutely,
You know, we're
yeah.
always trying to mitigate liability, and it's a huge part of our business. We recently, as everybody knows, we won't go down the weeds on this, but we had somebody fall off a stage, and you know, creating safe spaces.
Yep.
As much as the technology will allow us to, and the capable, you know, maintenance and runs, any place we can clean it up and get it tighter.
Right.
And again, there's also, you know, depending on your promoter or who you work for, and we're big on this here at Sound Image, is the aesthetic, the
They
end
notice.
result.
They notice.
Yeah,
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
and
You don't
these
think
things,
they do, but they notice.
that's the care that goes into it. You know,
Yeah.
it's that how we're always pushing to make sure our gear's top notch, up to snuff, painted pretty, and you know the cabling is constantly. We're doing maintenance. I mean, shit, you're the guru of.
I'm a little familiar with that.
Yeah, the guru of making our stuff stay at at some kind of industry standard at a really high quality. These are important things that show you care, that kind of pronounce and show the difference between one vendor to the next. And not everybody does it that way. And it's a big part of, I think, the Sound Image mission is that we come out as Sound Image. We're not playing somebody else's game. We're playing Sound Image's game.
Right.
And we want to create an industry standard. So when any one of us can go out on a show that we support, and Lord knows we have a lot of stuff in the field, and we put a lot of stuff on across this nation and the world, that there is a way that it's done, and that we all have a minimum level, a minimum standard that we're gonna operate at, and encourage to operate above that standard even. And
Well,
so
TCM was proof positive of everything you're saying there, because, you know, you have me with this bucket of bolts, you know, Tony Stark made this in a cave with scraps kind of attitude, and, you know, I go sit down and talk with George, and I say, I've got this thing that can do this thing, and he's like, show it to me, you know, prove it to me. And as soon as he, you know, wrapped his head around what I had done and his experience with the equipment and stuff, he goes, let's do it. Let's put it out there. Let's get it working. Because it's the sound image line, right? It's like, okay, so the manufacturer provides a bunch of racks, they do a bunch of stuff and everything. Doesn't say they're right about everything.
No.
I mean, remember, we all came from a school of dragging it into the parking lot.
Yeah, who's to say Vertec with wide lines underneath them is incorrect? You know?
Who would ever think? Who would ever think that? But it's just, again, it's proof positive that in our industry, no matter how much money is spent or has been spent, you know, owners, technicians will always look for the next level of efficiency. And if they have to go outside of the package, they'll do it. And I think this is a clear case of that, about going outside the package and saying, we have a better trick here.
Yeah.
You know? And for me, the TCM stuff, walking into the Oxbow, the first thing that makes me smile is when I see the hang and I can see every cable going to every box.
yeah, it's pretty too.
It's pretty. And, you know, we'll have a press release coming up on stuff about the Oxbow, actually.
Good.
And so we're going to be doing that next week. And
There better be a close-up of like the cable pick point. Like, oh, look at this cable
look at how
pick.
look at that. You can oogle over that.
Well, we got a word for that. It's cable porn, baby.
Cable porn.
Yeah, and you know,
I see your layout, your feeder layout photos.
I love that shit, and so do my people and our members of our group. Listen, you guys, I love that I've been able to have you all three here. You've, you know, great, huge contribution to this show. I don't do this by myself. I get to sit in the middle, but it don't mean shit. It's because of all of us. This one started it with me. We're a team. We're brothers from other mothers. I love you with all my heart. I mean, you're one of my dearest friends.
Always, forever and ever.
I cherish you. You've been extraordinarily helpful and instrumental in moving this show.
And you're a nice guy.
Oh, God forbid.
You have been an adequate human being.
Adequate. This is rolling out the hits right now. Integral to moving this show forward into being becoming a little bit more. Me and Bernie started with a nugget, a seed, and we grew it up into something fully realized. And your support and your consistency has been invaluable, and you're a brother, man, and I appreciate you. And thank you for coming in on you're going back on the road tomorrow. So to come in and spend the time with me and your wife, to allow that, your gal, really appreciate you both. Thank you very much for what you do. Winston came in because this one fucking shit the bed, and he came in and saved the day.
Whoa. Are you pointing at a chair or a human being?
I called you this one.
He loves
One, Bernie, 0.
He's keeping score, man. That's the third time he's done that today. Winston is not playing.
I blame it on the
Winston is
fucking tea.
monitoring and measuring. I guess that's what he rules.
If I had Coke, we'd be flying right now.
Yeah. Well, you know, all right. Let's not get ahead.
Well,
That's a postmortem. That's after show stuff. We're gonna try to behave here. Listen, guys, we appreciate you dealing with the hiccups in our game. This is a live show. We do this live. We are operating in a very large business while we do it. We're all going in different directions. Bernie's got his biz. He's on the road. This one never stops. He just told you he worked all damn week putting on big rock shows. I got all these amazing people. I've got Gallagher staging out here. I got Susie, who's wonderful. We couldn't operate this business without her. These people come in and we do what we do in the industry. We're roadies, man. We adjust on the fly. We make shit happen. The show must go on. We came here. We did one for you tonight. We appreciate you guys coming in here and being with us. I want to send a really special, important shout out to Mikey Brown. Mikey Brown, you don't see him, but without him,
Mike's a legend.
welcome Mikey Brown.
Mike,
we love us,
come on,
Mikey
come on,
Brown.
come on, come on, come on.
He's
The man, the legend, the octopus.
Bernie tried to get you out here. One of these days, John Del Rio, and I'm getting off the air. One of these days, John Del Rio had a good idea that we're going to put a camera on Mikey. So when I mention his name, he's going to have to push the button that puts him on the air. He's rock and roll Jesus. You guys got to get to know him. We love the man. He really is the whole backbone of this thing. We just sit up here and talk, but if you're seeing it and hearing it, it's because of Michael. So we want to thank you, Michael. And to the
And if it
wonderful.
goes bad, it's Michael too.
Well, no, definitely. When there's a problem, that's also Michael.
Yeah, that's
but
also
but we
Michael.
love him, and I want to thank I enjoy you guys' little neighborhood you've created for yourselves in the comments, and the comments happen here on Twitch. They happen on YouTube, and they also happen independently on Facebook Live. I get to those after. We take care of the ones, but thank you guys for coming in. You seem to have made friends with each other. Susan Kearney, she's an adorable, wonderful, talented woman. Pat O'Doul, of course, the amazing Charlie Zaricki, Scott Chaney, Noah the Beard, all you guys. We appreciate what you do. We appreciate your little community you've created around the show. We will keep trying to do our best for you. We have some amazing guests booked in the near future here, some very talented people that have really interesting backgrounds. We're going to bring them on. We do this every Thursday at 7 p.m. Please, guys, go out there. We're going to come back next week, but until then, behave. Be good to each other. Be kind to yourselves. We'll talk to you next week. Have a good one. Good night. Peach and Valley. I love
Peach and Valley.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much, Joey.
That was fun.
You did good, bud. You did good. All you guys did great.
I'm only here to disrupt. I'm only here to disrupt things. The disruptor.
Here.
Vince.